special, strong souls that I've ever met in my life. They struggle with the kind of struggles that if it happened to me, I know I would be dead. I don't have 1/100th of the strength of you, Heshy. I don't have 1/100th of the strength. And we go through regular stuff and it go crazy. And there are some souls that they go through stuff that nobody's supposed to go through. And so many of them don't make it because they don't have a mommy and a daddy like you have. If you have a message for the world, for all of these parents that are in pain because they got a kid acting cuckoo and they don't know why. So the gut instinct is, you know why they say that? Because they're in pain. They love this little kid. They had an upshare and it was so cute. And then they came back with the olive bags and they put it on the, everything was fine. And now the kid's saying with both middle fingers, F you, drop dead. And they don't know. So they think somehow, I don't know, the stork dropped down the wrong kid in the wrong house and aliens abducted our beautiful kid, and now he's a monster. And I've learned, no, not a monster. Something's happening, and just believe in your child, and you will see how strong they are. And we do this naturally if someone is physically sick. Someone's physically sick, we never turn on them. We never say he's lazy, he's a manipulator, how could you do this? But when someone's going through stuff that there's no x-ray, we adults lose it. The kid has fever, and we're on their side. Fever doesn't go away a month or two. We never put pressure on the kid, and here, because there's no x-ray, there's no fever, parents can love their kids and can be the worst enemy of their kid. But your parents are crazy about you. You know that? You know that. And that gives you energy to fight the fight every day that you gotta fight. Some days easier, some days are so hard we can't even imagine. But you have the energy because you're not alone. True that. So if there's a message you want to give to these wonderful parents, and by the way, there's tens of thousands of kids homeless, tens of thousands of kids that feel abandoned. What do you want to tell those parents?
Honestly, you said that parents don't understand. I don't think I understand what's happening to me sometimes. But I know one thing: if my parents try to understand me, then how do I look if I don't understand my parents? So I know that we went probably in different directions in life, right? But everything happens for a reason, and either it's trauma, addiction. It's trauma equals addiction, abuse, everything else, all the bad stuff. So if you take out that loving part of the family, where the only people who probably understand you is your parents. Because anybody in the street just wants to tell me how to live my life, but they're not willing to put in the effort. They're willing to put in the effort, and all of a sudden they're not telling me how to live my life, and I'm like, wait a second. The only people that are there for me are them. I work a night shift, so I don't really have a lot of friends to hang out, which is a good thing. But I always hang out with my parents. I don't know, they're my best friends. Honestly, I don't think there's anywhere of a place where people feel comfortable sharing about their lives. I'm used to this. This is like AA and NA, so I'm pretty used to this. Once I warm up, I warm up. But
so we're gonna be here for a while. When you started saying trauma or addiction or this, I was thinking, no, it's trauma. And all of a sudden he goes,
definitely.
It's trauma. Because without trauma, you don't end up addicted.
Exactly. And nobody told me to pick up but my friends. And the only people that invite me back to the house that try to help me get off these garbage is my parents. So automatically, what I'm understanding is that these people don't care about me. Just these parents care about me. So why would I cut a relationship? A lot of people, one thing I heard, and I have this thing with my father where if somebody talks bad on Avi, I pick up my phone and I start flipping out on him. Because of the right. Every single time I have this conversation with somebody,
How
I
many
stand up
enemies
to
do
you.
I have?
Yeah, we're nothing brothers. But one of the things that I tell people is, what is your expectation about me? Is your expectation that your kid's going to be religious, or is your expectation that your kid's going to be okay,
Alive.
and healthy and happy? Because if your expectation is something that cannot become true, right? God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I need to know the difference, right? Those people who want me to be religious, they don't have the best interest at heart. The only thing they're busy with is religion. Once you try to understand where I'm coming from, what I'm going through, it's much more than just religion. It's your kid. It's a living soul. I went to sleep for many years. I remember crying myself to sleep. I didn't just cry, but I cut my wrists. I did some crazy stuff. And my parents were always there. And I remember when I got sober 2 years ago, my parents didn't even come to rehab with me. I did it myself. I got up, remember? I went to Harlem United in Harlem, the worst neighborhood, and I'm sober. So obviously his work and my mom's work brought me to that stage where I said, I don't need my parents to get sober. They have me anyway. I'm gonna do this my own. I'm gonna get this done. They support me, they do their job, I'm gonna do my job. And that's where I'm at right now. 2 years of a job, never had a job this long, never had a family that cares so much. Like, my family was always the same, but the learning, I guess the understanding of their kids changed once they started joining this group and started seeing other parents going through the same thing. You know, I would go to AA. I used to go to AA, whatever. But when I come into the room, there's some type of feeling. My father came with me once. He said there's something in the room where the building needs a mezuzah. Like, that's how holy he feels when he walks into the room. Remember that in California? Like, I feel like this room, there's mezuzahs. This room, like, needs a mezuzah. It's a holy place. It's like where people go beyond understanding their kids. So I'm totally grateful for this. Like, every time I meet somebody, they're like, Avi, I'm like, okay, I know you're ready. You know? They come into my store. I have a couple people come into my store. I'm not gonna call them out, but very grateful.
I'm grateful that you're here. And I want to tell you something about, let's talk about religion. I think you're a lot more religious than I am.
I'm definitely close to God.
Close to God. Isn't that what religion is supposed to be? If somebody gets hit by a truck and we say, oh, he doesn't go to the gym.
Oh, I'm not saying religion is not important. Religion comes last.
No.
When you have health, happiness, and fulfillment, that's when you can add religion and it sticks. I tried to become religious once, remember? I put on tefillin, I did all these kinds of things, and then I smoked dope in the alley. You know, it doesn't stick. You gotta be healthy and
happy. You gotta be a human, healthy, happy, 100%. What I mean about religion is, when someone is in pain, I don't judge anything. You want to see a bunch of not religious people, go to the hospital. They're religious, they can't focus, they can't deal, they can't move, they're dying. So it's not a religious question. It's not a problem of religion. It's the full package. When someone is dying inside, needs to numb themselves, their life is at risk, they don't see a future, and you come to them and say, Shabbos! You just missed the boat. It's not that, thank you, you go keep Shabbos. But that's not the issue. Someone's having a heart attack and your father's in Atzala, and they call him, and your father says, Spears, revive the person. Revive the person. So I'm not convinced that kids who are not religious, that it has anything to do with religion. Even though when you fight them, they say, I hate God, I hate religion.
They hate God because of trauma. They hate everything because of trauma. If you introduce something in a trash can, right, and like you put a piece of gold in a trash can, I guarantee
Come on, we'll take the gold.
Nobody's going to look in that trash can. Nobody's going to look at it because it's a trash can. But if I tell you there's gold in it, I guarantee you're going to dig through that trash can. Same thing, you know? I think my dad told me this, like, what do you pray at davening? Do you pray for $50 or do you pray to get a lot of money, right? So
we're Jewish.
So don't go till here for your kids. Go till here.
Go all the way.
And go all the way, just like you.
Believe in your kid. I find that we have to believe in our kids when they can't even believe in themselves. And that gives energy to somebody. Instead of saying, why am I alive? I have no value. Say, but my father and my mother, Yosef was in Mitzrayim. He thought his father refused to give up on him. Your parents refused to give up on you.
Right.
Because they know who you are. Do you know who you are?
I definitely am. I'm figuring it out for sure, but I'm getting to know myself through my parents. Like, honestly, thinking about cutting wrists, right? Why would a person cut their wrists in a sane mind? Nobody would cut their wrists. That's crazy. Now that I think back, I'm like, wait a second, what did I do? But how did I get to that point where I understood that this is not normal? Like, I'm better than that and I deserve better, right? It's because when they start understanding me, I try to go an inch more to understand them because they go an inch more to understand me. The relationship just builds, It's love unconditional.
Isn't he beautiful? There are thousands of kids that don't have the ability to speak. You have a responsibility to teach us. You represent them, and a lot of them are not alive, and a lot of them they can't speak. You are, thank God, alive and thriving, and this is just the beginning. We are going to be seeing a lot more from Heshy. And I don't think he's going that fast in this smile right here. What he's overcome in his lifetime, none of us, hopefully, will ever have to even do 100th. It's like you see somebody lifting a can, you say, he's strong. Someone who's a stroke victim, yeah, that's really strong. Someone who gets in a car accident, that's really strong. People don't look and don't understand this, saying, oh, lazy. No. We believe in him. He is a superstar, and you will see more and more good stuff.
My boss doesn't have any kids that are not religious or anything. He loves you. So obviously there's a reason there is.
He loves me because he knows you.
No, not because he knows me, because he sees the progress. He's been there for 2 years since I started doing progress. So
you should continue to feel good, believe in yourself, and know how much your parents and everybody loves you and cares about you. And there are going to be good days, there are going to be dark days. And when those dark days, you hold on to these people because they will never let go.
Yeah.
You know why? Because if they do, I'll kill them. You're a lucky guy, and you have your life to prove how lucky you are. I wish you all the bracha in the world.
I appreciate it. Anything I can do to help and try to get people to understand.
This is huge.
That's your attitude.
So good. Wow. Everything.
I'm so inspired. Thank you, Heshy. You said you had no friends. I don't know. I'm looking around the room. I see a lot of people want to be friends.